Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we're going to continue our look at a number of the figures from the second Iron Man movie. Today it's going to be Iron Man from the comic series. So he's not going to look like how he is in the movie. You can see this is number 26, so we're certainly getting up there in terms of the number of figures that are going to be in this line. And as we've done before, we'll take a look at what else we've got here on the packaging. We've got Iron Man from the comic series, War Machine, Stealth Operation Iron Man, the Crimson Dynamo, and the Iron Man that we're going to be looking at. So the packaging, pretty much the same as it is for all of the Iron Man 2 figures. Nothing too special about this one anyway. So I think what we'll do now is we've had a look. Oh, sorry, one quick thing. Blast off figure stand. How awesome is that? Yeah, I know. But anyways, we'll take a minute. Okay, get this figure out of the package, and we're going to have a look at Iron Man from the comic series for Iron Man 2. So, we're going to keep looking at Iron Man here. There he is. Now, the mold is nice. Again, it's got lots of the detailing for all the muscles that you would expect to see on a superhero clad in an armored suit for beating the crap out of people. In terms of articulation, it's not too bad. The head does not appear to be on a ball joint. I don't think it's supposed to move up and down, even though it can a little bit. But it does go all the way around. The shoulder is a ball joint, so we've got all sorts of movement here. The elbow, we've got the rotation here, and again, we can move up and down. And now the articulation for the hand at the wrist is actually closer to mid-forearm instead of right at the wrist itself. The legs, well, they're on that kind of ball joint you see on the hip. So we have a little bit of sideways motion, and then if we can turn this properly, which I sometimes have problems with, there we go, we can move the leg forward and back. The knee, 2 or 3 pieces there for the joint, so we got full bend there. And the foot does move. I think it's on a ball joint because you can move it a little bit, but again, that might just be because of the soft plastic. Coloring, well, you know what? It's classic Iron Man, so we've got kind of the yellowish gold with the red and the circle in the middle, even though I sometimes wonder if that was supposed to be yellow. I can't remember. I guess it depends on who's drawing it. Now, the paint job itself, I mentioned this when I was talking about the Mark III Iron Man. You really have to pay attention to the paint when you're picking these ones up. I can honestly say I did not buy this one myself. It was given to me, so if I complain too much, I'm going to get the crap beaten out of me. But if you look, I don't know how well we can pick it up on the camera. Maybe see if I can zoom in a little bit to get it to focus. Maybe not. No good. On top of this one, you have to take my word for it. The head, where it comes down to a point, the little widow's peak there, the paint job is actually gone, or maybe I'm just rubbing it away, but it's actually more yellow now than it is red. We've got a few other blemishes. He's got some red on his face, and I know I saw some on some of his arms somewhere. You notice that at the joints, you see this a lot sometimes with the figures that are shiny. The joint on the inside, that piece there, it's not the same color as the rest. So the paint I'm not too particularly impressed with. I think it could have been better, but again, maybe you just have to be a little more careful when you're selecting the figure itself. In terms of posability, it's not bad. The one thing, my gripe about the Mark III from the movie line applies to this one. The fact that you can't bend his hands upwards. He's got his hands open so he can do his repulsor blasts, but it just, I don't know, they need to be able to turn up a little bit more. The best thing I like to do with him right now is he can just kind of become a Marvel zombie and just... yeah, no. Okay. Actually, was it this armor that he was wearing in Marvel Zombies? I can't remember. Maybe it is. Now, in terms of his accessories, I guess his gimmicks, if you will, he does have the stand. We'll look at that a little bit more in a second, not that there's much to look at, but we can put him on here. Make sure he stands up. I should be able to do this. There we go. What else do we have here? He has this one extra piece that we can put on his hand. I guess it's to look like energy blast of some kind coming from his hands. So we can stick that on there. Something similar to the bits that the War Machine figure had, but this one I don't know, doesn't do anything for me. It just looks like a big piece of red. Besides the fact that his repulsor blasts are supposed to be yellow most of the time, aren't they? So, can do without that. So the other thing that came with, is a blast off stand. You can see the little peg here for his feet. And we can put Iron Man on here. But the peg is right in the middle, unless we turn it this way. And we can try to put him on here. But it's not gonna, I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it doesn't look too good, and I have a hard time actually just making him stand up properly. And I find the peg is not quite big enough for the hole in his boot, and it doesn't hold up too well. Honestly, I'm not impressed with this. It's it could have been better. It's not a bad idea, but I think it could have been executed a little better. Maybe move the peg somewhere so he can easily get both of his feet on the stand. It looks like he's standing on a geyser of lava, if you ask me, but at any rate, I can live without that too. And the other thing he comes with, which all of them seem to so far, at least the ones that I have, again, is that figure where we've got, or sorry, the card, where we've got a picture of Iron Man on 3 separate sheets. 2 of them are the, I want to say cellophane, I don't know, the clear plastic, and then 1 with the body. So we can, again, have this kind of make an Iron Man figure. Here, we'll grab War Machine as well. Again, we can put War Machine's arms and head on Iron Man's body, and hilarity will ensue. I don't know. Don't need that one. Want this one. Okay. So there we go. Once again, we can put the card here in the display. We mentioned before, I think with the other ones, it has this code and a website on it, but I'm not even going to focus on it too much because I've tried it again and I still just get redirected to Marvel.com, so I don't know if there's supposed to be something we can actually do with that, or maybe it'll change when the movie actually comes out. My grade for this figure, I think honestly, it's a little bit tough because I do like Iron Man and I do like the classic look. I would say maybe a C+ for this one. It's a little better than average, but not by a whole lot. And the reason is, one, the blemishes in the paint get to annoy me very quickly. The fact that his hands just, he looks kind of like he's doing, you make him do Michael Jackson's Thriller or something. And the gimmicks are forgettable, I guess we'll say. They're pretty useless. I mean, they don't hurt the figure themselves, but they certainly don't add to it either. Where did I toss that thing? Ah, here it is. So we can put that back on there. So if you're an Iron Man completionist, sure, pick it up, but I'm pretty sure you're going to find other figures of Iron Man in the classic look that are going to be a little bit better. But at any rate, that was today's lesson on Iron Man comic series from the Iron Man 2 movie figures. I'll catch y'all later, and class dismissed.